This girl has a disturbing habit. She enjoys removing men's kidneys. She often uses her cute appearance to gain their trust, then quietly sneaks behind them, takes out a stun gun from her bag, and knocks them unconscious. She would then drag them to a room, tie them up, and without anesthesia, cut out their kidneys with a knife. When Ellie stabbed Chris's palm with the knife, she didn't expect that at the moment the blade went in, Chris activated his powers, his palm began to glow, and the knife was forced back into Ellie's own body. Then, Chris used his ability to turn Ellie into his slave and set 2 rules for her. First, she cannot leave his range. Second, she cannot harm him or his sister. As soon as the rules were set, the tentacles on Ellie's body quickly disappeared. Humiliated to such an extent, Ellie was filled with rage and immediately drew her knife to attack Chris. But just as the blade was about to make contact, she found herself unable to move, her body completely out of control. Seeing that she couldn't harm Chris, Ellie started crying uncontrollably, confessing that she had gained immortality just to kill Chris and avenge her parents. Now, all her efforts had turned to dust. Chris approached her to comfort her and said, "As long as you're alive, good things will happen, like us getting married." Before he could finish his sentence, a third rule was forcibly implanted by the demon behind him: to marry Chris. This is a world where gods exist. Gods listen to people's wishes and grant superpowers to the lucky ones. Chris was one of the blessed. However, after he made a wish to gain his abilities, the world began to collapse. 80% of the global population died in an instant. 10 years later, the survivors rebuilt their homes and formed anti-superpower organizations. But by then, Chris had lost part of his memory. He vaguely remembered that the disaster was caused by him. The guilt in his heart made it hard for him to breathe, but for the sake of his sick sister, he decided to let go of the past and continue living as an ordinary person.